All right, everybody. There was a technical difficulty. We tweeted out a wrong link, but now we're back. Here we are. We are live with the Greedy Williams episode 26 of the Barking Brown Show. I am your host, Jacob, over at Roachism13 on the Twitters. Joined as always by my wonderful co-host, the amazing Nick Carnes at Carnsies817 on Twitter. Nick, it's a bitter night, but how are we doing?
Hi. So I've started to process this, and I don't think it's any secret to those involved that maybe both you and I, who were in attendance at the game, were a little bit in our feelings that day.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Maybe just a little bit. I'm going to see if we've got the Twitter comments working again today. We didn't have the Twitter comments working last week. If you're on Twitter, please send me like a hello right now in the chat. I want to see if they show up. If not, we're going to have to try to find a new way to get the Twitter comments and the questions rolling. But I have the Twitter one off to the side so I can see that people are in there on Twitter. But hopefully the comments are going. Nick, if you want to try to bring it up on your phone, see if the Twitter comments work there as well. That is an option as well. So we'll see if that's working. Guys, real quick off the top, I say this every week. I didn't say it last week. I want to say it again. Thank you for giving us your time. Thank you for making us a part of your week. The most valuable time you can ever give anybody, most valuable thing you can give anybody is your time. You have chosen once again to give us your time, and we are ever so grateful for that. We are first and foremost. Yeah, I do that all the time. I leave the sound on accidentally. First and foremost, let it be known that I apologize for not containing Nick's yelling as we walked out to the. We will talk about that because Nick can attest to this, that after that loss, I just laughed. I just laughed. I was like, whatever. So tonight we are going to talk about some tough things. We are going to talk about the bad. But I made it a point when prepping for the show, and I talked to Nick about this, that is, I have got no comments showing up on my Twitter feed. So
yeah, I got a whole lot of nothing. So
okay.
So that's
okay.
fun.
So I'm sorry if you are throwing up comments on Twitter. If you are, and because I don't seem to see any showing up, I know you'll let us know. So I apologize for that.
I wonder how you get this to work. Why is this so? This should be so simple.
It should be so simple. I have no idea why it is not working. The Twitter feed is not working. I'm going to try something else in the background while we talk. I want to make it plain and simple here, guys, that tonight we are going to talk about what we need to talk about. It was a tough, brutal loss. But in the end, there's nothing you can do but move on. That is what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about the brutal stuff, and then we're just going to talk about moving forward. We're going to talk about the nice stuff, and we're just going to, oh, hey, look. Hey, I got a comment, and it's from my little brother, and he said, "Don't apologize for Nick yelling when we left." My little brother Nick was with us, and he said, "Don't apologize. God, that was funny." We will get into some stories from our adventure at the game when we transition to the fun part of the episode.
Yeah.
The first 20 minutes. Nick, let's set a time limit. 25 minutes. So the next 20 to 25 minutes, we are going to have tough, upsetting, but real conversations. Okay. After that, we're going to have good conversations. So we have hit our YouTube subscriber goal. We will be giving away a shirt.
Nice.
We're at 25 subscribers. If you want to enter into that giveaway on YouTube, I will put out a video short sometime later in the week on YouTube with the instructions to do so. So look out for that probably Friday. I'd say it's probably fair that it'll be about Friday when we come back with that. So check us out over there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Spotify, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. However you're listening to us, we are very thankful for you to be here. Check out the Patreon. I am going to write a very emotional and honest review of the first 7 weeks this weekend, and it'll be exclusive for the Patreon, and it will include probably more in depth than some of the things we're going to talk at the game. A very upset Nick Carnes told me that he was going to come and yell on Tuesday. That's what he said multiple times. He said he was going to yell. And my friend Trevor said, okay, but if the Browns come back, and this is when it was like 14-0, it was still very early on, and he was a very upset Nick Carnes.
Yeah.
And I'm just teasing him, and he knows it. And then that's why he's having a good time. My friend Trevor said if the Browns come back, that he would get to call in and yell at Nick. And Nick agreed to that. So unfortunately, it's the other way around. Nick told me he needed the floor. He had some things to say, and he wanted to yell. I don't think he's going to yell. He looks calm.
I've calm.
I think he's got some things to say. So Nick, the floor is yours. We have 20 minutes. Let's air things, and then let's have some fun.
Oh, I appreciate that. I do. I want to start out with one good thing that I think goes neglected, because we started doing these shows in April. So we've got,
roughly 6 months.
Yeah, roughly 6 months. And in that time, we have picked up 7 Patreon members so far, and they are all still with us. And I am super thankful for all of you, because, it like having that type of support really, every week I'm like, at the very least, it's like you guys are wonderful. And so it means an incredible amount to me, and we want to continue to bring you more for Patreon, and then definitely continue to expand it. So we have lots of plans about that. I just want to say thank you, because that seems like a great place to start. And man, okay, all right. I don't know if there's so many things to get into. With that said, there's so many things to get into, and we got comments and we got all this stuff, and I think the hottest topic of all of this is injuries, right? That's like took over the entire Twitter conversation today, and all of this, and Baker Mayfield, and it's like everybody and their mom has an opinion on whether Baker Mayfield should be playing, not playing. Is he being selfish? Does Kevin Stefanski have a choice of if he's playing, or is it Baker who's controlling who's playing?
Which is ludicrous. That question is ludicrous.
But you know what? You know what though? The literal quote from him is that he decides if he's playing, which is super weird. There's some super weird things going on right now. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the direct quote. But then Kevin Stefanski addressed it by saying that all the players have a heavy impact on if they play because it's their bodies.
Yeah. Okay.
I think people are making a little bit too much out of that, the specifics of that comment.
Okay. All right.
But I know what you're saying.
Yeah. About the game though. I think there's two big things to me that stand out above everything else. Number one, we definitively know that the players on our defense are talented and have performed at high levels previously and have been a part of great defenses. And Jacob knows this, but I haven't actually shared it, publicly. It's like a fever dream to me when the Browns completely demolished the Bears, and the Bears had one net passing yard. And then the next week they give up an opening drive touchdown, and they don't give up a score for the rest of the game. And then you completely fall apart against the Chargers and give up 26 in the fourth quarter. Which salt in the wound, right? The stupid Ravens give up 6 to the great Justin Herbert, the next second coming of Patrick Mahomes, and the Chargers.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I just a few things I got to get off my chest is and thank you. The Ravens literally stopped practice because players were tearing their ACL, including Marcus Peters, who was their second best corner at the time. And ESPN puts up this grand graphic that before and after Marcus Peters, they're giving up 100 less net yards as a defense, right? So it's like, oh my God, the Ravens, how are they going to play defense? How are they going to do it? And they literally put it on the team that we just gave up 47 to the previous week. So I have no idea. And then it's like Jake Burns is putting out stuff. Shout out to him. He does great stuff. But how John Johnson is playing way more deep than he ever was before. You've been used about 50-50 in the box, playing to his strengths. And it's like suddenly it's like this staff.
We're going to get to that. I have the actual statistic on that, and we are going to get to that.
It's like suddenly the staff that we were like, oh my God, they're finally using our players to their strengths. I do not feel that way. I don't know what's going on with the defense, because I saw, finally like Joe Woods caves and he blitzes, and then the Cardinals absolutely destroy us on all of our blitzes. Like, we know definitively Troy Hill and John Johnson were a part of the best secondary in football last year, and suddenly they come to Cleveland and we just give up every. You know what? The Browns cannot buy a fourth down stop. They can't do it.
Or
They
a
can't
third down stop. If
or
we're
a
being
third down
honest.
stop. They have zero fear ever of going for it. I mean, the Chargers were so disrespectful. They went for it on like their own. I don't even know what that was. Like they're 35 or some stupid. It's like we literally don't care. You're not going to
Oh,
stop.
on that passenger? Yeah, it was like on the 30. Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, and then literally Cardinals don't need an offensive coordinator. They don't need a coach. They don't need it. They don't need their the glue of their offensive line, and they can just march down on the Browns and do whatever they want to do. I just, oh boy. Okay, so there's that, right? There's that disaster, and then suddenly, finally Baker Mayfield doesn't have a turnover last week, and then here we are again with the fumble this and fumble that, and then some stupid interception that just is overthrown, and oh god, and then I mean, granted you don't have your tackles, but it's just like he's getting killed and he's just making bad decisions. Obviously, he's dancing. It's like, dude, you can't. He's just I you know what? Somebody said this the other day. It's like when other quarterbacks scramble, you're like, okay, there's an opportunity for a big play here. I watched Josh Allen, not that they won that game, but I watched Josh Allen scramble to his right and throw a dart to the end zone to I think it was Cole Beasley. And it's just like amazing things happen when other quarterbacks scramble. But when Baker Mayfield scrambles, everything goes to hell. I don't get it. I don't understand. Oh God. And then you know what? I tweeted about.
I just want to interrupt you for just 1 second. I don't think the Twitter comments are working. So if you do have questions or comments, comment under on the actual tweet about this. Go out, back out, comment under the tweet. I will check the thread. I will check the thread and make sure you can leave comments in here, but you can also comment under the thread, and I will be checking that to verify it. But go ahead, Nick. I apologize.
No. It's just a couple other pieces here. But you know what? Odell Beckham, we talked so much. You and I both talked about it, and everyone talked about it. Odell Beckham's going to be that guy. He's still that guy to her. Da 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 da, and just dropping fourth down passes. You know what? And I know, and the Arizona guy got the defender got his hand on the ball. I understand that, but it's like you have to catch those, right? So there's that piece to the puzzle that sucks. And then inexplicably, it's like we have the only, it's a hot stat, actually fun stat. We have the only kicker in football who has not missed a kick, right? And they'll call me a big jinx because I'll tweet about that. And we just never ever will take points on fourth down. We'll never do it. And you know what? For a long time, that game was 23-14, and that game is totally different. Not that it ended up mattering, but that game is totally different if it's 23-17. Right. And
Yeah.
so and then the last piece to me is just that, you know what? It was like the Browns were so good at running the ball previously. And for whatever reason, they just cannot get it going. And it's like, you're already down Nick Chubb. So it's like, okay, maybe we'll see Demetric Felton. Maybe we'll see Dearness Johnson. And we saw, I think they cumulatively touched the ball like 4 times.
Yeah, I know Felton had 2 screenplays. That was it.
I don't understand. It's like, obviously the loss sucks, but it's like the nitty gritty details are what gets you, because you looked at it last year and you said, okay, Kevin Stefanski's making good decisions. He's maximizing talent. He's using the run game he's finally running the ball. And it's like, you were like, well, Joe Woods' scheme can't play the scheme he wants to. And like now you're just like, okay, these defensive players aren't being utilized correctly, and suddenly we have zero balance on offense, and just there's so many baffling. It's like I don't feel like there's adaptation happening, and that is the most terrifying part of everything thus far.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's your piece. So it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. First, well, still not getting anything on Twitter. I'm hoping that if you guys comment underneath this in the thread, that I'll be able to go back and check some of those. I'm going to go through the Facebook as well as the YouTube questions and comments that have been posted so far, and then I'm going to say my piece. And then we're going to start to talk about positive stuff. We don't have a preview episode this week because the game is on Thursday, so we are going to talk a little bit about that game as well. Mitch asks, will we see Case? I don't know. I've got a lot of opinions on that. I don't know. Ed says, I heard Nick all the way down here in Columbus. Probably.
I yelled a lot.
A lot. And we'll get to that. And that's part of the fun. It was
It
a
was a
good,
long
I had a
day.
great time, even though it was an awful game. Mick says, "What's up? Let's get the violence started." It is coming, Mick. It is coming. I've had people come into my mentions and twist my words for 2 days, and I am ready. I'm ready for you to have all my words, all of my words. Ed's trying to start some stuff. He says Nick is wearing a wine and gold shirt. He likes teams with young, polarizing players in search of large paydays.
You know what, Ed? Ed in Buffalo. I need
Ed
you
in
to
Buffalo.
Ed in Buffalo. I need you to go slam yourself through some tables and don some Bills gear and just be done with it.
Ed, we give Ed a lot of hate. I need to know both of your opinions about Baker playing Thursday. Mick, from what my understanding is that structurally speaking, it has not gotten worse. If he can deal with the pain, I'm pretty sure an injured Baker is still better than a healthy Case Keenum, but it is what it is. Ed wants us to know that Baker has compromising pics of Stefanski, so he calls the shots. But he says it's fake news in there. He's trolling.
I said this a bunch today. It's like if Baker Mayfield and Kevin Stefanski are in unison that Baker gives them the best chance to win, then who am I? What you know what? He's the reigning coach of the year. Did he suddenly just fall apart 6 weeks into the season? I don't think so. I have to trust him here. I have to. It's been too small of a sample size not to suddenly to start questioning every decision he makes.
I agree. Mick's laughing. Ed in Buffalo. He thinks that's funny. Ed admits that he has a whore mouth. That's our friend Dan. Our friend Dan changed his @ to Dan's whore mouth for a little while, and then he said he needed to be more family friendly. There's nothing family friendly about Dan's Twitter feed. We love you, Dan.
We do love Dan.
Odell says his hands are like Purell. What the hell? 99.99% that he drops 4th down red zone passes. God. Honestly, that was probably everywhere that chart statistics actually charted that as a pass breakup. But a superstar wide receiver making that much money, I want him to come down with that.
It's 2 weeks in a row. That's why it sucks. 1 week you say, okay.
Okay, Dan's whore mouth is weighed in now. Ed needs to shut his whore mouth, and Chase McLaughlin is the only thing we have going for us. I disagree. Well. I disagree, but
I tend to disagree.
I tend to disagree, but I am.
I'm checking in from the People's Republic of Donovan Peoples-Jones. The People's Republic of Donovan? We'll call it that.
You know what? I think that I know. Okay, there. I might have the comments fixed. I might.
Oh, nice. That'd be nice. I would love to see the comments because I know we got people in.
What did you say? You had a comment from Twitter?
Oh no, I just said I'm checking in from the People's Republic of Donovan.
Oh, I like it. Okay. Okay. Why are there so many different kinds of QBRs? There's only one QBR, but there's a passer rating and a QBR, and people often get the two mixed. Like somebody tried to tell me that Baker was good on Sunday because he had a 102 passer rating or 102 QBR. Well, QBR is on a scale of 0 to 100, and he had a 37 on Sunday. So try again. I'm going to say my piece, guys. And a lot of you are probably not going to like a lot of what I have to say. And that's okay. Because opinions are like assholes and everybody has one. And they all stink. Different views. I've been crucified on Twitter because I said Baker Mayfield didn't play well. He did not play well. Find me a metric that tells me he played well. If you look at his passing yards, if a guy throws a 57-yard touchdown, you'd expect he'd have a lot of passing yards. Well, no, because he only had 173 passing yards outside of his Hail Mary. His Hail Mary accounted for 25% of his passing yards. 25% of his passing yards were on one play. People said I had to discredit Kareem Hunt's because he had a few big plays. So I couldn't talk about the fact that he had 4.7 yards per carry. Oh, okay. So we're discrediting big chunk plays. So then 25% of Baker's statistical output and yardage discounted. That's the rules I was apparently told. Listen, guys, my criticism of Baker Mayfield is real. If you follow me, if you know, you know that I love 6. I have a 75th anniversary Baker Mayfield jersey that was acquired on Sunday. Don't come here and tell me I'm a Baker hater. Don't come here and tell me that I'm just going for low-hanging fruit. No, stop. I love Baker. Oh, he's injured. If the injury is making him that bad, he does not need to be on the field. I'm over it. Stop making excuses. Well, the Browns had a massive turnaround after 6 weeks. So you're telling me every single year I have to watch 6 weeks of a quarterback struggle to read the field and then he'll miraculously turn it around? Stop. I had the same conversation last year. I had the same conversation the year before at the same time each year. Good quarterbacks do not need to regress and then have a miraculous turnaround and figure it out again. I love Baker. I think you can win with Baker, but the criticisms are real. They're legit. He is 25th in QBR this year. You say, well, it was just one bad game. Then how the fuck is he 25th? Do you want to hear the quarterbacks, the only quarterbacks that have a worse QBR than Baker Mayfield? Ben Roethlisberger. Oh. By the way, Baker has a 0.2 QBR higher. 0.2. That's it. That's all the higher he is than Ben Roethlisberger. And we all talk about how awful he is. Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, Davis Mills, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. That's it. That's it. I think Baker is good. I think Baker can be great. I am angry because I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen him be elite. I've seen him be the guy that can lead you to a championship. I haven't seen that in a while. Oh, he played good against the Chargers, and the big moments came up, and he fell short again. Nick said, this is the most telling. Nick Carnes sat there in my car on Sunday and said, if we have lost Jacob, we've lost hope. I'm not giving up. I'm not saying trade him. I'm not saying get rid of him. But that to me was very telling. Nick talks to me about football every single day. He has to listen to my ass scream at him every single Tuesday. And sometimes other days of the week too, if he gets a random phone call on a Saturday and I'm just feeling spicy. Guys, because you say someone had a rough go does not mean you're a hater. He turned the ball over 3 times. Oh, well, his offensive line isn't playing well and giving him enough time. Their pass blocking grade was in the 70s this week as a team. It's almost as though if the tackles are so terrible, although James Hudson, much improved. I'll give James Hudson a lot of credit. His pass blocking grade, let me find it here. His pass blocking grade for this week, 65.6. Sounds like a lot of what Wyatt Teller's giving you this year so far in pass blocking. So, someone tell me, well, Baker doesn't have any time to throw. Then why are you holding on to the football? If you know, because you are not seeing the field, you are not reading, you are not throwing you are holding onto the ball. You're trying to play hero ball. You're fumbling the fucking football. You're throwing balls behind receivers. You're better. I'm angry because I know you're better than this. I know you are way, way better than this. And if you are not going to have these conversations because it's so bad to slander a Brown, then you're I don't know, delusional. And I'm done. Listen, I told Nick this. Well, he's the best thing that we've had in 20 years at quarterback. Well, just because you polish a turd, it's still a turd. The shiniest of all the turds is still a damn turd. That's not good enough. We used to be 1-31. Realize where you came from. I don't just want to be better than dog shit. I want a championship. Your coach decided not to give his fourth and fifth string tackles any help, next to no help with tight ends and running backs. After the week before, you put an emphasis on it. He's smarter. He's better than this. Guys are out of position.
Yeah.
Just listen. I love this team. I want to win. That was embarrassing. Everyone on that squad, top to bottom. Odell had a really great grade. I know you don't want to admit it.
Yeah,
Odell was phenomenal. He was open.
He's been open a lot, and
Myles Garrett,
he's just not getting the ball.
absolutely. Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Everybody else, for the most part, your offensive line was all right. It was embarrassing. Everybody should be embarrassed. The whole team, top to bottom, and more so than anyone, Kevin Stefanski should be embarrassed. You were outcoached by a dude that wasn't there. I had to be reminded by Nick Carnes for 45 minutes that they didn't have a head coach or an offensive coordinator. We took pride in that last year and what we did in the Pittsburgh. And then you shit the bed, guys. You shit the bed. You were better. That's why I'm angry. I get it. Oh, all these injuries. Go tell that to the damn 5-1 Ravens.
I know.
Nobody, all of their running backs right now weren't even there in training camp.
And they've had, if you look at their offensive line, they just put another line. They put, was it Ronnie Stanley?
Yeah, he's out for the year.
They've had more offensive line, and granted, Lamar is
a freak.
That's the difference. That's why it's so frustrating, is because Lamar is elevating them. Like Lamar doesn't care. Joe Burrow doesn't care. And it's just like you look at Baker and he's just getting these happy feet and he's just dancing in the pocket. And in his defense, Baker is on pace to blow away his all-time total sacks. Like, he's already been sacked 18 times, right? The most he's ever been sacked is 40 times. So, I mean, he's going to destroy, and I don't know who that's on, right? Because you say the offensive line had a good passing grade or a reasonable passing grade.
It was
reasonable. So I don't know. I don't have a solution there. But
Baker's issue right now is not that he can't do it. He's not reading the field. He's not seeing the field. And he's not pulling the trigger. On that fourth down where we were pissed that he got sacked, that was on Baker. Go look at the still shot. Standing directly in front of him is a wide open Odell Beckham. Instead, holds on to the football and takes a sack. Stop. Okay? Stop making excuses. I want a championship. I don't just want to be better than 1-31. I don't. I want to fucking win. And if I'm not saying Baker can't win, and people can't understand that because I specifically said, oh, you're blaming this on Baker. No, I'm not. Go look at what I said. I even specifically said that I think the biggest blame for Sunday's loss was the coaching. I thought it was awful. I did not blame it on Baker, but Baker is not blameless. You can't tell me that a dude where 25% of his passing yards were on one play and he turned the ball over 3 times played well. I had someone legitimately say he did play well. He wasn't bad. What the fuck game did you watch? Because I sat up there at the very top of First Energy, by the way. Fucking awesome view, but terrifying to be that high up. And those stairs were a lot.
Yeah.
I watched every snap. He wasn't good. He wasn't. No. You have to be better.
I think that's the most troubling part, is because, like, Kevin Stefanski can be better. The defensive scheme and players can be better. But and like, we've seen Baker be better, but that's the biggest enigma right now, because no matter what you look at, like, there's guys that are open on a lot of these plays. Like, you see these replays and they just make you sick, because that he should be throwing to these guys, or even on these, like, on those final drives, it's like there's guys there and Baker just cannot hit them. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, if Baker was playing well, I think I would be in a way better mental place right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like I don't know. It's such a mental part of it. And to see him just dance in the pocket and get happy feet and just not see these guys that are wide open, like now you're looking at quite a sample of it. and then he's playing through the injury, and he re-aggravates the thing, and just you know something though, and not all totally on Baker. I think I'm officially done with the Joe Woods experiment. I think after gathering more information about how our defense is being used and the schemes we're playing, I'm not going to pretend to talk like super in depth X's and O's. I'm not that guy, and I'm not gonna claim to be. But it just doesn't seem like guys we definitively know are talented players are not being utilized the way they need to be. Like there's no excuse. This secondary should be far and away better than it is right now, and it has been Swiss cheese through. I mean, like that one play, the one play where DeAndre Hopkins gets in the end zone. It's like he has no business getting to the goal line, like none whatsoever. And it just, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, and then the other DeAndre Hopkins touchdown where I was closer to the football on that damn play.
It's just these guys they're wide open. You know.
Here's our 5-minute negativity warning. We are going to shift gears in 5 minutes because we need a little bit more time to get this out. Once again, I still can't get these Twitter comments. We'll get it fixed next week. I don't know if Nick's able to see any of them. I don't think so. I am going to send a message to Restream. So if you send any comments, you can DM me directly right now. If you have questions or comments that you want heard onto the show, and I will be checking my DMs regularly right now. But right now, the comment section is not working. Just so we are clear on that. So send me DMs if anybody has comments from the Twitter end that is watching it currently live. This is what I want to say about the Joe Woods thing. And then we're going to move on to some good stuff. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the Broncos while we have a little bit of time. This is the troubling thing from Jake Burns. Okay. And I'll just read the whole tweet. I wish I had time to write on this, but I don't. John Johnson III was brought to Cleveland with playing 50% of snaps in deep coverage and in the box. He is dynamic close to the line of scrimmage. So let's look at, you can't look at 2019. He was hurt. So in 2018, he played 503 snaps deep and 467 snaps in the box. In 2020 last year, he played 394 snaps in deep and 459 in the box, more in the box than he was deep. Last year, he had 394 snaps all year deep in coverage. This year, he already has 310. 35. He has played 35 snaps in the box.
Which you're eliminating the best part of his game.
Last year, he played more snaps in the box than deep. And right now, he's 80 snaps. Through 6 games, he is 80 snaps shy of what he did in the deep last year. That is terrifying. What analytical model, what stat, what metric, what did you see that made you think totally changed this guy's game? We brought him in, paid him all this money, but we're not going to use him how he was used to be really great. What are you doing? The coaching staff, top to bottom right now, should be embarrassed. They need to look in the mirror and they need to figure it out. I still believe Kevin Stefanski. I still believe in this roster. I still think they can win a lot, but they can't do it the way they're doing it now, period. And if you want to act otherwise, you're being ignorant to what you are seeing in front of you. I want them to win. I don't want to sit here and have the conversation that we're having right now. Yeah. But guess what? I drove my happy butt up there and I watched the most embarrassing game I've ever seen live in my place. And I watched Johnny Manziel quarterback a team one time. So in person.
Yeah.
Guys, something's got to give. You're not playing well. No excuses. Gut out a win on Thursday. You have to win Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a must-win game to me. They have to win. If you want, like, if you're 4-3, everything you want is still there. The rest of the AFC North won last week, right? And you're the only team in the division that lost, right? And so you're just rapidly, you have to win.
So, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say the most troubling thing to me, I think, is I get the Browns got in a hole early, right? But when you look at the stats, like Kareem Hunt was averaging 4.7 yards a carry. And I just feel like, and for a long time in that game, like we said, it was 23-14. So the game is not far out of reach, and it just feels like they just completely abandoned the run. And I don't
You
understand that.
didn't
I
start
don't
to
I don't
run
get
the
it.
football till you were already behind. Like, what are you doing?
I don't understand that at all.
They were the third worst defense against the run. Run the football. Kareem
Yeah,
Hunt's good.
that's the other thing. It's just you know what, and like and the week before, David Njoku's having the game of his life, and Nick Chubb is not far behind him, and granted Nick Chubb got hurt. Okay, I understand that, but they just completely went away from all these things that they were just killing the Chargers with, and I don't understand. I don't get that. It's like if something you're doing is working, why aren't you still doing it?
Um, Austin Hooper's awful. I'm done.
Ugh.
I'm absolutely done. He's had one catch in 2 weeks and he's bad. And his blocking wasn't even that good. He's bad. We're gonna end the negative talk. I got 2 comments right here from our friends over at More for You Cleveland. And it builds on something I believe is true. Baker's issue is the same thing that happened in 2019. If he doesn't feel he can trust his offensive line, he gets happy feet, which causes him to not trust his eyes. Regression is very concerning. Injury or not, the reads have been questionable to say the least. That's part of my point. I completely agree. This is a DM they're commenting, sending to us. It's very concerning because this is the same issues we had to begin 2020. I'm not going to pray for a miraculous turnaround after week 6 every week. Every
Yeah.
year. I'm not going to do it. He said they also say that the 6-2 defense they ran was concerning. I think we see that look from more teams going forward. It's back to KC again, guys. It's back to the KC game where they're going to just stuff the box because there is not a threat. Guess what? You can't blame it on the receivers anymore.
That's the problem. That's
You
the
can't.
problem.
The talent, the speed, the ability to separate, especially with DPJ, which we're about to get into. Because, oh, buddy, did somebody try to tell you about that man, DPJ?
Oh God.
Somebody tried to tell you about that man, DPJ, and he's going to tell you some more soon. I'm doing like really creepy eyebrow stuff. Anyway, guys, we still love you. Fix it. Be better. You can be better. You are better.
Yeah.
Prove it. Prove it. Shut up and win. Just do it. Nick, one last negative comment, and let's get the hell to the positivity.
I'm thinking. If you got anything, feel free.
I don't. I think I've said my piece on here, on Twitter. Also, if you don't know what my words mean, don't put words into my mouth. Ask me. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, what is the most concerning thing overall? I think it has to be Baker. I think it has to be, right? Because that's your whole season, right?
We said it at the beginning of the year. You're only going to go as far as 6 can take you.
Because the defense is telling you, we know that Baker is not. They're basically saying we dare Baker to beat us because you're not beating us, even though the Browns were running well, right? When they're running the 6-2, right? They're just saying, okay, well, if your quarterback's either going to beat us or that's it, or you're not winning the game, right?
Yeah.
And so that's like the most. And you know what? The biggest thing I had confidence in, the by far the biggest thing I had confidence in heading into the season was Kevin Stefanski. And I just, he's gotten really tight at the end of games, and I haven't liked that at all. And just this unwillingness to stop going for 2. It's like, dude, you got to open your eyes and you got to adapt. I don't know. I need to see. I thought that last year Kevin Stefanski's like best thing was that he really maximized and utilized the strengths that the Browns had. Like that was the biggest difference for me, from like begging Freddie Kitchens to run the ball and begging him to, like David Njoku's in the doghouse. For Rashard Higgins doesn't get to play, all this stuff, and then all of a sudden Kevin Stefanski comes in the offense. It's just like, oh my God, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they're finally running the ball and they're finally using play action and all these things that we said, would really make the offense shine, that we knew the offense could do well. And I'm not seeing that this year. And I don't get that. more even than Baker. I just don't understand what's going on with Stefanski, because they chastised Matt Nagy for getting Justin Fields killed when the Browns played them, and then it's like, dude, both your tackles are out, and I know you said they had a decent pass blocking day. Leave some tight ends in the block. I mean, come on, help the guy.
This is 2 weeks after I said, hey, Kevin Stefanski's not Matt Nagy. He'll keep his quarterback protected. He did that against the Chargers. And then he just said, you know what? James Hudson, you've only got like 12 career starts as a tackle ever. Most of them are at left tackle. Figure it out.
I don't get
Also,
that.
JJ Watt celebrating by beating a rookie like James Hudson. He was just gloating out there. It's like, okay.
You know what? So, are we taking a deep breath?
Because we are moving on.
Something to share.
Ready, everybody? I
have something to share. Jacob and I have a friend. Well, we have a friend named Ross.
We do.
Aside from
makes the best brisket in the world,
and his own custom sauce. Ross puts on an amazing tailgate. He's got his own little generator with like a grill and even hand sanitizer for you available.
He does.
He's got like every Switch, GameCube, Wii game
64.
All 64. He's got all that stuff, right? So it's super fun tailgate. And thank God, because it started hailing on us for a while, and he's got this big tent.
I was driving during the hail. I was very thankful that I had not made it yet.
Yeah. Well, we were under the tent. It was good. But on top of all of that, Ross sells brown socks that are wonderful.
I have some too. They're downstairs.
And yeah, thank courtesy of Ross. And he's at Ross Attack, ROSSATTACK, right? Yeah, Ross Attack. And he gave us a code, did he not?
He did. I retweeted it. So if you guys love these amazing socks that are made by our amazing friend Ross Attack, let me go down and find it right here.
Also worth your follow in time, by the way. Ross is a great person. I went to high school with Ross.
He sells these socks on Etsy. I tweeted out the link earlier today. Let me find his tweet from me.
So soft.
If you go right now to Ross's Etsy, at Ross Attack, I will tweet out after or I have tweeted out. I'm going to go to my page right now, and I will pin the tweet. Well, I can't do that actually because it's not my tweet. So go to my profile, scroll down there, see the promo quote. I'm going to retweet it, or Nick just retweeted it. Nick has retweeted.
I'm about to. Yeah. Okay. So
and I will retweet it now. So it's going out right now. So go to our profile, check out Ross's tweet. I can undo this retweet. Oh, it's gone now. Crap.
He said he's selling the socks. And there's a promo code, right?
Yes. So Ross is selling these socks. Ross Attack, ROSSATTACK is his @ you can go to his Etsy, and if you use our special promo code BARKING right now, BARKING, you will get 20% off. That is 20% off our good friend Ross and his amazing Etsy socks. Right now they are $14.99. I'm gonna go over right now onto the Twitter, and
I'm trying to see it, and it's being difficult with me. I'm not sure why.
I don't know what I did. Okay, sorry. Breaks in the show because I don't know technology. And I will tweet it out right now. Promo code BARKING for 20% off at our good friend Ross's socks.
Yeah.
I have tweeted it out. It is out there. Enjoy it. Okay. That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. That's a great thing, right?
We had a good friend Ross.
I want to say also Kyle Pringle finally met Kyle Pringle in person. Tweeted out randomly, hey, I'm so close to going up to the Browns game. Kyle lives all the way in Alabama, right? And so Jacob and I messaged him because we had an extra ticket, and lo and behold, the man got a hotel and was true to his word. He drove all the way up from Alabama. No coat, by the way.
Yeah, the dude didn't realize he was gonna need a coat, and then Sunday morning he was like, "Hey, it was like 6 in the morning," and he's like, "Is there anywhere open right now that I can go buy a hoodie?"
But
I love that man. I love him.
Kyle made the full trip.
13
And
hours to watch an ass whooping.
what? Oh, God. You know what? I'm not positive which is worse, right? Would you rather drive 13 hours for an ass whooping, or would you rather fly across the country and sit in SoFi as the Browns just implode in the
I
fourth
would
quarter?
rather fly to SoFi because at least at some point they looked good in that game, and as well as um, at least they looked good at some point in the game. And I've heard that SoFi is beautiful.
What if you did it in back-to-back weeks? How would you feel? What do you think you'd yell all the way on your walk to the car?
Is that where we're going? Do you want to go
Just,
with that story? Or do you want to save that for the end?
I mean,
I want to share some good stuff, and then
yeah,
we'll share
yeah,
some funny
yeah. No,
stories about
I'm
our weekend.
done.
It was a
Yeah.
disaster. The whole day was a disaster. Just wait. Okay.
Except for the great tailgate.
It was a great tailgate, great food. All right. I tried to tell you about this, man. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about this, man. Actually, I've got a comment from More for You Cleveland. Guys, as always, send me a DM if you got questions, comments that you want to go up on Twitter, because for some reason the comments are down. He says, I want to hear your thoughts on the Von Miller comments. Have you seen the Von Miller comments?
Yeah, I did.
Let me see.
He gonna kill our tackle.
Yeah, he says he's basically going to I don't want to like misquote Von Miller. So let me go in here and see what I want to bring them up. It is essentially that he's going to kill our tackles. I don't think it was specifically about ours. Like, okay, here it is. It was just that it so happens to be that we're playing them this week.
Yeah.
Okay. Von Miller setting high standards this week. I will play well in this game. I'm going to have a great game. I don't know who the tackle I'm going against is, but I'm going to kill him. Well, Vaughn, you're one of the best in the league. More for You Cleveland wants to know our thoughts on this quote. You know what? I sure hope so. If you're as good as you're supposed to be, as good as I know you are, I mean, you're going against the fourth, fifth tackle. I know that Kevin Stefanski won't make the same mistake twice.
God, I hope not.
So Von Miller Kevin Stefanski sees comments like that. I think it reminds him of what his job is and how he needs to approach it. They're not going to take Von Miller completely out of this game, but are they going to use misdirection? Are they going to chip him? Are they going to lead people in? You know what? I will be surprised if Von Miller has more than a sack. A big game to me from a guy like that is 2, 3 sacks, whatever.
Sure.
No, Von Miller will probably have a sack, and I think it ends there.
I just want to say shout out to More for You Cleveland, by the way. Great, content on Twitter. And
I DM them all the time.
Along with us. Hello, friends. Multiple. I've been friends of theirs for a long time now. They just get bigger and better as time goes on. So thank you for being here. But yeah, about Von Miller.
Hey, Kyle said it was worth the drive.
Yeah. Kyle Pringle. What a guy. You know what? There is no way you can look at that Cardinals game and not come in on Thursday and say, we need to figure out how to protect the quarterback, right? There's got to be adjustments because Denver's defense is real good, or at least I think they are. No, you know what? Nobody's giving the Denver any respect. I know they haven't beat any good teams. I understand.
Their offense is awful.
Okay, but that does not, especially with the state of the Browns. That doesn't
mean much against our defense.
Do you remember when was it Brandon Allen?
Don't start with me.
I'm saying.
Don't you start with me.
You can't disrespect opponents. Not the way this is. You can't. Like the Browns are favored by like 4 or something, and I'm just like, I don't know.
You do know though. So if they're 3.5 point favorites, the home team typically gets 3 points. So you take that away, really, it's a push. It's a half a point.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried to tell you guys about this, man. Didn't I?
Yeah, hit it.
Did I try to tell you guys about this DPJ guy? I told you, didn't I? According to PFF, Donovan Peoples-Jones leads the NFL in contested catch percentage with a minimum of 4 contested catches with 100%. In contested catches situations, Donovan Peoples-Jones, when targeted, is 9 for 9. Did you know he leads all receivers in the league with a passer rating when targeted of 158.3? Do you want to know why that's significant?
Why?
Do you know what a perfect passer rating is?
It kind of sounds like that you just stated.
It's 158.3. So you're telling me that when targeting Donovan Peoples-Jones, Baker Mayfield has a perfect passer rating. I tried to tell you. There are things from this game that you can take and you can watch and you say, do that more often.
Mm-hmm.
Baker was 3 for 3 of yards that 3 for 3 in passes that traveled over 20 air yards. He completed a pass that traveled 66.7 air yards. It's pain tolerance with him because this is not going to get any better. We know that. We've been told that. It has to have surgery. It's a full tear. It has to have surgery if we want it to get better. Donovan Peoples-Jones is great. I love Dearness Johnson. He gets to get a shot on Thursday. It's him. It's
Dimitri.
Our training camp standout, John Kelly.
Yeah.
I like John Kelly a lot. I hope he has a good game. More than all, Dearness Johnson not only I think is a good football player, seems he's a damn fine human being. I'm very, very excited for Dearness Johnson to get his opportunity to play on Sunday. Guys, I can't. Somebody got mad at me, told me I was a regular Tony Grossi this morning, and it's not sunshine and rainbows after getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. There is. Oh, look at that. 11 more games. Your season's not over. Your season's not defined. We know what happened after week 6. Listen. Play your game, guys.
Yeah.
Get the ball into your playmakers' hands by any means necessary. Kevin Stefanski, you know, he holds himself. I think he's one of the better head coaches, at least publicly, for holding himself accountable. Show me why I've had all this faith in you for the last 2 years. Show me why. Prove it to me. Guys, the Browns still. Let's go to PFF real quick. Check this out. The Cleveland Browns are still the 3rd highest graded overall team in football right now. When you take the quarterback out of it, they're even higher. Guys, you're talented. Don't stress it. Gut out an ugly win on Thursday. Gut it out. It's going to be ugly. But guess what? Then you got 10 days to get ready for the Steelers. Gut it out, lick your wounds, and please, God, beat the Steelers so we don't have to hear about it on Twitter.
I lost Jacob. I'm going to give him a second.
I can hear you. I can hear you. So, dear God, lick your wounds. Please don't lose to the Steelers because it'll be miserable for me and Nick on Twitter if you do.
Oh boy. I started off on Monday with this, and I think this is like the natural transition, right? Because you bitch about the loss, you bitch about all the things that happened, right? And then you say, okay, woosah. All right, we're moving on to Denver.
We're giving away 2 pairs of Ross's socks next week. Forgot to say that.
Hell yeah, we are. Can't wait. Yeah, and so I can't wait. I can't wait to advertise that we're gonna give away a shirt too, because we're gonna let hopefully we're well, I don't know. We already got our 225 subscribers, so anyone who wants to do it between now and the time we do the giveaway, you're going to be on there too. But the natural progression here is this: you get all that out of your system. You say, okay,
it feels so much better.
Yeah, well, you do, but that doesn't mean like Jacob said, that doesn't mean there's all doom and gloom. So then, what's the natural next thing to do? You look and you say, okay, we know this was garbage. How do we improve it? Right. That's what I started out Monday with, and I was really proud of that tweet because it's just like, okay, it's starting to be constructive. Like, how do you improve these things? And I won't, copy paste that tweet by saying it in words here, but I just have a few things. I think I
Copy
think
paste it. That's fine.
I just think I've expanded on it more as time has gone on, and I've analyzed some of the things. I just think even though your tackles were out and Nick Chubb was out, you were still running the ball well. I think you have to continue to run the ball. You have to run the ball even more so than you've been running, because obviously you can still do that well. Obviously your quarterback's hurting, and you need, especially with the way the defense is going, I think you need to dominate time of possession. I was listening to Carmen Lima in the morning on Monday, and they said, and granted, part of this stat is because the Browns were playing keep away against Kansas City and Minnesota. But they said that the Browns have scored 18 points in the first quarter so far this year, which is, I'm not sure if that's a league low, but it's damn near it if it's not. And so I think it's kind of an oxymoron, because it said you need to dominate time of possession, but you also need to get out to scores and to not put yourself in a hole, right? Because for whatever reason, it's like suddenly you get down a little bit, and then you go away from it. You can't put this game on Baker right now. I don't think you can. I think you need to somehow win this game and not put it on Baker, because if you can get the 10 days of rest, I think it'll help, at least help.
Help everybody, man.
Yeah. And then
Get some dudes back. I'd love to have Juice back Thursday. My God.
that'd be nice. And then I think defensively, you just gotta look, like, what they're doing right now is not working. I mean, obviously you can't change a whole scheme, or and you can't do that, but something's got to give in this. This secondary is so talented. It's criminal how bad they are underperforming. So for whatever reason, I'm not sure. You need to evaluate something and change something. I don't know what it is. I don't have that solution, but to me, those are pieces of it. And you know what, and not that the Broncos have been an amazing team or anything, but it's like, I know Myles Garrett's leading the league in sacks, but it would be so cool to just really, so, like, even though the Browns defense, and Jacob, I'm sorry, I know I'm going on a tangent.
You're okay.
I'm sorry. Even though the Browns defense was bad last year, one of the hallmarks of what the Browns did and what helped them overcome all of that was Myles Garrett strip sacks. Right. And he's had sacks, but he hasn't really had a whole lot of strip sacks. It's like, you have to create turnovers, right? It was like the Browns were so effective on offense last year that every time they got a turnover, they made the opponent pay. And it's like, if you can find a way to manufacture, because God knows the secondary gets robbed of interceptions every time they get one. God knows they do.
He was out of bounds, but yeah.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I do. You're right.
It's just you somehow somebody's got to force a turnover from that front four. I think that would be so massive. It's like you have to give yourself advantages, because God, we, you know what? And it took a while to get to our seats, but it was like, dude, the game was just out of hand by the time we even sat down. And you cannot put yourself in that situation with a quarterback in the mental and physical state that he's in right now. You can't. And I'm sorry, I know I went on a big long thing.
No, buddy, that's what this show's for. We called it therapy last week with our amazing special guest, Meredith Kane from MK on Sports, from That's What We Said, as that is what they call their show, a therapy session. I think that's what it is. First, I need to shout out my wife. Check this out. We have a new poster hanging up behind me.
Love it.
All right. It was my anniversary gift. Our first wedding anniversary is the 30th.
Love
the day
it.
before Halloween. I got this new poster, as you can see. Miles and Jarvis and Baker and Odell and Chubb and Browns and the stadium. Yeah, it says Cleveland up here at the top. That's an amazing new poster there. It is hangs up here behind me. The wall. So the Baker Mayfield, the solo Baker Mayfield holding up the solo Baker Mayfield that used to hang up there is still here. Sorry. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist and I was fixing it a little bit. The solo Baker Mayfield will be back up on the wall as well at some point. I just don't have a frame for him right now. Guys, go ahead.
I would just like to say we have a new listener, and his name, he's at Jonas Fields, and he had a question for us that I wanted to pose to you.
Is it the one I just saw? Because I was actually about to.
Oh, well, maybe.
Let me see if that was who it was. Yeah. So I just checked it out. So what moves? Go ahead. Ask it. It's the same one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So our new friend. Thank you for joining us. Which, if I could find it real quick, sorry about that. Our new friend said, "What moves do you think Andrew Berry makes prior to November 2nd?"
I think part of this has to do with injuries. So it's very interesting because I think Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski have. I said it somewhere on Twitter yesterday. I think they have work to do in the 10 days that right now you can't do anything. The game is in 2 days. You played 2 days ago, so you know. I said it somewhere on Twitter the other day. May have been today, may have been yesterday. I said AB's got some work to do. I think there's some injuries. I think there's some holes. I think, and I don't know where it comes from, but I don't think they're done. They're not set on the offensive line. Now, Alex Taylor might be a guy that as he gets a little bit more back up to speed, that may take some snaps away from James Hudson. I don't think they want James Hudson to be out there anymore. Because of that, I think offensive line, you had amazing offensive line depth when this started. And it just so happens that pretty well, other than the Nick Harris thing, all of your injuries have been at offensive tackle. Like you've lost right now, 3 offensive tackles are out, one of which will not be back this year. So you have to decide, is Blake Hance Chris Hubbard? I love Blake Hance a lot. I think he's playing very admirably at left tackle. So I think you feel okay about it, but I don't think you want James Hudson there. So if Alex Taylor's not the guy, you need to go get another tackle. So I think tackle seems to make a lot of sense. I think a little bit of depth on both sides. I think they're a little. We really saw what happened without Jadeveon Clowney at edge. So I think he might look at a little bit more edge depth in case Clowney misses more time because it was greatly diminished. That being said, Clowney has been really, really good this year. So it's hard to replace it. So for me, I think he could look tackle. If for some reason Baker has to have surgery, that is a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
And that's part of what you're going to have to see. I think if he makes a move, it's going to be a depth move, and I think it'll be somewhere on the line on either side or to add another corner. And that's solely because you can never have enough and there's lots of injuries. So nothing too spicy or out of the ordinary for me. But Nick?
I tend to agree with you. I think if there's something that I've learned over the course of the season so far, it's I think the talent's here. I just think it's a combination of not being utilized correctly and not executing. And so offensive line depth, that makes a lot of sense to me, right? Because you've been thoroughly beat up there, right? But outside of that, honestly, like I feel like it feels like
they play up to their level and they'll be fine.
It's like they take turns, you know. Like Greedy Williams was great a week. Grant Delpit was great a week. Denzel Ward was good. Greg Newsome has been good. But it's like, and then Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett and obviously we've touched on Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Odell Beckham's open despite everyone hating him and being frustrated, not hating him, being frustrated with him for his 4th down drops. He's been open, right? He's just not given that opportunity to shine. Because he's not being thrown the ball or he's not being thrown the ball accurately. So it's like, I think you have talent. It's just you need to do a better job of making use of it.
Can we please get everybody to play a good game at the same time?
Yeah.
Because that would just be wonderful.
I would like that a lot. Oh, sorry.
That would just be wonderful.
So yeah, I mean, to me, I don't think, and especially the way Andrew Berry values picks, which I think he's shown us to this point. A lot of his picks seem good to me. Um, I don't know. I mean, we're still in the process of evaluating all of that, but there's a lot that I do like. I've liked Jedrick Wills. I'm trying to think. I mean, I think we're still learning a lot about Grant Delpit.
Ross has already sold some socks. I
Love it.
just checked. He's wheeling and dealing.
Good. I'm glad.
Wheeling and dealing right now. Them socks is amazing socks. We got a trivia question, Nick.
Yeah, hit me.
Make this fun. Make
Hit
this
me.
fun. I wanted to make a fun football trivia question for you. So I'm gonna ask you this question. That's the wrong thing. I accidentally clicked on the kids trivia question, and I didn't want to ask you which team's from Cleveland. All right. This one will assuredly make some people mad. So, which NFL team has lost 4 consecutive Super Bowls?
That's the Bills. No?
Yeah, nobody loses consecutive Super Bowls quite like the Buffalo Bills.
Oh.
I just want to take a shot at somebody else. I made myself feel better for like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've been noticeably quiet on the violence front. Sadly, I love violence.
Yeah, and I've taken my licks, guys. If you want to give me my licks for all the shit I talked,
yeah,
I will take it.
You know what? I just want to say, after everything we've just said, and after
I
all
do
the
miss
things,
the guitar. Ed says he misses the guitar. I miss the guitar.
well, yeah. I want to say, after everything that we've discussed, after all the things that have gone wrong, after all the injuries and all of that, if you win on Thursday, you're still 4-3 and right there where you want to be. Right? I mean, obviously you're not far and away, but you're right in the thick of everything. So if you win, I mean, suddenly, like you can
Winning cures all, man.
You've got 10 days to heal. You've got 10 days to hopefully implement some better schemes, some better plans, adaptate, get some guys healthy. There's a lot to like if you win. And you know what? I mean, still, even if you lose, right? I mean, then it's like your back's against the wall, but you still can hopefully get healthy on a mini bye. Because you haven't played any division games yet. And as much as it sucks to like say that and like have to say that, I don't want to have to say that. It's the truth.
Yeah, our friend Jonas Fields had a great comment. I want to read it for you guys. It's a cascading effect. A cascade effect is an inevitable and sometimes unforeseen chain of events due to an act affecting a system. Lose a starting tackle affects the line play, affects the run game, affects the play calling, affects the quarterback timing, affects defensive endurance. You can usually mitigate this by outstanding quarterback play, which is what is happening in Baltimore, and in-game coaching adjustments. But add wide receiver injuries, horrible officiating, make things even harder to overcome. And yet, in spite of this, we are 3-3, 1 game lower than most anticipated. A lot of people had us at 2 losses.
Yeah.
Because I said Baker had a bad game, because I was critical, I love this team. And if anybody out there doubts that, go ask my wife. I love this team. I live for this team. I'm still going to pick them to win on Thursday. See if I give a shit. You want to know why? You want to know why they got their ass kicked? Because Nick Carnes picked against him in his pool at work.
I did. Oh man. Yikes.
And he thought I wasn't going to bring that up.
Yikes. Hey, you can't be a homer all the time. Am I going to pick the Browns every week?
No.
That's the first time I picked against them, right? I picked them
and they lost, so you should see the correlation.
Oh, God. Well, when I picked them to win, they lost too. So what am I supposed to do? I feel like Ed in Buffalo got a big traitor. Ed, I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go, Ed. Never. Never again. Ed, even though your reasoning was sound and you're a smart person, I'm not letting it go, Ed. Ed knows what I'm talking about.
He knows. Anyway. All right, guys. We're going to tell you some stories about our day, about some things that were funny, some things that happened and some stuff that we wish we didn't happen. So we're gonna recount you with some of our stories of what we did on our way up there, or not on our way up there, but throughout the day, the fun we had, and we're gonna get you guys out of here. Once again, no preview show because
Games on Thursday.
games on Thursday, and well, I was too depressed to watch film. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna make up excuses. I'm not gonna lie. All right, guys, check it out. So, I went up there with my little brother Nick, my good friend Trevor. We headed up there. We got to the Muni about noon. After I spent 30 minutes trying to find a place to park because I was just having just an awful time trying to find a place to park, and I've got social anxiety, which I definitely coupled into um, freaking out, right? I just freaked out. So we get there. We find Nick, who immediately walks up to me, says, "Hi, so great to see you. I'll be right back. I got to pee." And then takes off down the beat. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And of course, I had not met Ross in person yet, and I knew nobody else at this tailgate.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
walks off, and here we are, me and my two buddies, just awkwardly standing back into the roadway part, a little bit away from the tailgate, just kind of standing there, hoping that like Ross or somebody might recognize me since we've talked enough and be like, "Hey, man," and introduce and something like that. I don't know. I was just so nervous to do anything, right? And so I'm just standing there, and Andy disappeared. We found out he had a very good reason. But my friend Andy was very drunk, and every time I talked to him on the phone so he could help me tell me where I was, he told me he loved me. And I love you, Andy. But I guess he was telling everybody copiously amounts of time how much he loved them, which is why we love the great Andy Mansion. He is the best. He is the absolute best. So the vacation was just so much fun. We had so much fun. So eventually Nick comes back, and I walk up, and we're talking. There's a video out there of Nick chugging a White Claw, which is just the sparkle. It is just phenomenally great. I loved it. A guy that was there with Andy, he chugged. I don't remember his name. He chugged a beer with a mask on with a hole in it.
Didn't go well.
It did not go well.
Did not go.
Over his sweatshirt. It was so funny, and so he chugged it. It was one of the most grandest displays of chugging I have ever seen.
Oh, okay. I'm like telling these guys, I don't know who these jokesters are, but I'm like, all right, you got to get down on one knee, and they look at me like sideways, like I'm like, oh, have you never chugged before? Like what are we doing here? We are classy, upstanding people here, right? And so when you're chug, it's time. You're getting on one knee, and you better do it. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. We got to learn these people. Ed, let me tell you something. Ed in Columbus, that is a guy who would get on one knee and join. That is a man of class.
Yeah.
Tie and all. Brown's tie, fancy Ed, he would do that. I know you would.
Tie, brown suit. He would get down on one knee and he would chug him a beer.
Rain, snow, hail on Sunday, no matter.
No, I have already set the haters at Nick for picking against the Browns. There's already.
You know what? I lost enough followers on Sunday.
I'm sorry.
You know what? And something else. Let me tell you. How is it that you get to tweet and you're like, I don't even know if I believe in Baker Mayfield anymore, and nothing. And
I gained followers.
and really, it's like a massacre of just, oh my God. A man gets into his feelings one time, right? Breaks from positivity.
Feelings.
Oh God.
Did he apologize for it?
I've recuperated. But anyway, yeah, so okay, so back to the story. So we've got the Andy, we've got the Andy's friends and this chug. So that's a good start.
And that's when our good friend Molly, who spoiler alert, may or may not be next week's special guest.
Whoa.
Our good friend Molly Rose sent us a DM and said, "Get your little, or what I think it was, get your skinny asses over here and do a gin bucket shot."
Hmm.
I think was her exact words. So I said, "Okay, I want a sandwich." So I walked up to Ross and I said, "Hey Ross, go over here. Good to see you, buddy. But the gin bucket is calling us." And he said, "You want a brisket sandwich?" And I said, "Ross does a bear shit in the woods. Of course I want a brisket sandwich." He makes us this brisket sandwich. He makes me and Trevor and Nick and then actually both Nicks a brisket sandwich. And he says, "Do you guys like mustard based stuff?" Of course we like mustard based stuff. He's got to get this special mustard sauce.
That
Boy,
he made.
howdy.
He
That he
made it
made.
himself.
Special. Told us the secret recipe. I'm not telling it to you.
Would not tell.
Anyway, he sprayed it all over that thing, gave me this brisket sandwich. I tell you what, that is the best piece of meat a strange man has ever given to me in a parking lot. I wanted
That's
to make it weird. Did I make it weird?
that's a bar right there.
That is a
That
bar.
is.
No, Ross is not a strange man. He's a wonderful man.
I just
And
want to say
that brisket was phenomenal.
in the midst of this story, Ross is trying really hard to grow his tailgate, and bless his heart because he brought everything for everyone, right?
Wonderful.
And so for Detroit, he's
Yes.
doing it next, right? And Jacob's afraid of the cold, right? So, I'm going to try and drag him back up. Jacob's afraid of the cold, though. But all I want to say is that
I'm
we're
not
doing
afraid
it
of it.
again.
I fucking hate it.
Well, you're coming then, right? Because you're fine.
No.
You're coming.
No,
Anyway,
I'm a pussy. We've established that I'm a pussy.
you gotta come. We'll bring you some hand warmers, and Ross will probably have hand warmers for God's sake. Ross is.
He's
But
prepared
anyway,
for everything, so I assume
we need to gather. We need to gather everyone, right? We only get so many of these opportunities. So I'm trying to drag Roger. I know Roger's a busy guy. Ed is like doing travel baseball and all this other stuff. I gotta get Ed. I never met Ed in person. Got to meet Ed.
I don't know if I don't know if I can handle Ed in person. That's like
we're gonna find a way. Yeah. See, if Ed's coming, will you come? If Ed's coming,
we'll see.
All right. Hey, that's better than no.
We'll see.
All right, Ed. See, you're already working your magic.
So then we walk our little happy asses over to our good friend Molly and Kyle's tailgate to do gin bucket shots.
And we found Gab.
And we found Gab. And Jules was over there. Jules had a phenomenal sign.
Yeah,
I told her
did.
I love her sign.
Awesome.
She was over there. She had a great sign. Found Jules and Gab and Molly, and we took a picture of our fantasy football league, which I didn't check. If you know how depressed I was this week, I don't know if I won in fantasy. That's how depressed I was.
Oh,
let's look here. No, you did not. I lost 100. I lost 151 to 126. I still had a good game, but I got, of course, matched up. But you know what I did? I scored 126 points, despite the fact that I started Jalen Reagor, who scored 0 points.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I lost.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of my starting lineup. Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. I thought all my lineup was on a bye week. They're not. All right. That's fine. Okay, guys. So buy these now. You won't even be cool during the winter tailgate. I'm not. I'm cold. I don't like being cold. Oh, she sent me some bibs. Okay, Carolyn is in the YouTube comments. She is sending me bibs, blaze orange Cabela's, and she says I won't even be cool during the winter cold games.
There it is.
You know what? It looks like she's got the hookups over here for some very good. She had a comment earlier and I missed it, and I'm trying to go back and find it because it made me laugh. When I was talking about Baker, she said Jacob busting out the disappointed parent lines.
And I
had me laugh. I liked it.
I just want to say Carolyn is trying to get me to go to Thursday Night Football, or has offered me, bless her heart. And this guy wakes up at 2 a.m. on Friday. It can't, Jacob and I, fun part of the story. So we're just kind of continuing right along the story. We're going to fast forward a bit and then we'll rewind, But Jacob and I and our merry band of crew got stuck in a parking garage for the better part of forever. And
And
when
Nick was still yelling in the car for
I
anybody
was still yelling,
wondering.
that was
All the
not.
way to the car and all the way in the car.
Yeah. So thanks for putting up with that, and all your friends who don't know me, bless their hearts. Um, I was upset. Sometimes
It was an event, man.
it's 2 weeks in a row, right? I'm spending my good money and good time doing this all the thing, and
Carolyn
just
says they were still yelling in the car too, so it's okay.
so it's like, I fly across the country and I had so much fun with my friends and seeing LA and California for the first time and all that stuff. But it's like, dude, then you come away with a loser. And that is an expensive trip. And so then you fly all the way back. And like I referenced, work
That
at
I
2
roughly know that I and a good part of Cleveland roughly knows exactly how much it costed because he may or may not have shouted about it on the street.
Yeah, well, yeah. So anyway, so it's like,
I'm
dude, then
just
you
giving you shit.
no, it's fine. I just like you fly back. I get back Tuesday. My flight home got delayed, so it's like, dude, I had to hit the ground running, go back to work, and it's like, dude, just like go, 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 go. And so then you get to this tailgate, and you're like, all right, this is gonna be better, and then it's not. And then you got to do the same exact thing because you get stuck in a parking garage forever. And so then you got to come home, sleep for like 3 hours, and go right back to work. And so it's just anger. It's like finally I got some sleep. I'm less grumpy.
So let's tell him about my terrible navigating skills in the stadium. So we get to the stadium. We do our gin bucket shots, and we get to the stadium. On time, we say, let's go to the pro shop.
Yeah.
Go to the pro shop. We go in the pro shop, make some purchases, get out of the pro shop. My good friend Trevor bought a Browns jersey. I was very proud of him. I won't tell you which one because then you're going to blame him for somebody's injury like I already did, and it was very disrespectful of me.
Bless the guy's heart. He's a Lions fan.
Lions fan.
Bought a Browns jersey.
Great dude.
Expensive Browns jersey.
Yeah, good one. A good one to have, I would say. He wanted a Myles Garrett, but apparently, and this is true, the only sizes of Myles Garrett jerseys they had there were mediums and smalls.
Well,
yeah, just shows you how popular of a jersey. So anyway, we go in there, we get the jerseys, and now it's time for us to find our seats, and we're running out of time, guys. We bought some beers, we used the bathroom more than once, and we're in section 535. Okay. All right. Now let's find the nearest set of stairs and let's go up to the 5th floor. I don't think it matters. We should be able to walk around the whole stadium on the 5th floor. That's not an accurate statement.
Nope.
So we go through the section of stairs that'll take you to 501 to 516. We're not going to get on these escalators, man. There's just so many freaking people waiting in lines. We're huffing it. We walk our happy asses all the way up these ramps. They're not stairs, they're ramps. So we walk all these ways up, all the way up to the 5th floor. And we're at 501. All right, we got to get to 535. Let's head this way. We go all the way to 516 to see a wall. And we're like, oh, shit. We can't get there. So then we go all the way back down to the 300s, the 3rd level. Because the 3rd level does go the rest of the way around. So we go down there and we get all the way over and they're singing the national anthem. And like, we're just like.
Then we stopped for that.
Yeah, we did. We stopped for that. We were respectful. We get to the escalator. We ride all the way up. And now we got to power through traffic. They're getting ready to kick off. We actually sat down right as the ball was kicked off. Right as it was kicked off. We get over there. And we realize we're in row 30. If you want to know how many sections the 535 is, it goes all the way to the top of the stadium. It has 32 rows. So we climb all the way up to 30. I have terrible, crippling social anxiety, and I started having a panic attack after we sat down. So that was a thing that happened. Oh. And then on top of a panic attack, the Browns started getting their ass whipped right out the gate. So it was a grand old time for us.
Can I just say, that one touchdown by the Cardinals was not a touchdown. He was down. He should have challenged that. That could have been.
He was down.
He was down.
He was down. I thought he was down. But apparently that all scoring plays are reviewed, and so I would assume it was reviewed, and apparently whatever.
I don't care. It wasn't a touchdown.
So we get up there, we sit, and we wait. And Nick says, I gotta go to the bathroom. He goes down, comes back up. And at one point, Kyle's sitting there. He's just screaming. Our good friend Kyle Pringle, who said it was worth it, gets up, goes down in the second quarter. Don't see him again. I don't know what happens to Kyle. I'm like, Kyle, what happened to Kyle? Oh my God, Kyle has not come back. We get a text from him in the fourth quarter, and he said, I got down here to go to the bathroom again. My fat ass ain't going back up those fucking stairs.
He said the next day, don't try to drink the stadium dry. Kyle.
Our man put away some beers. So then we go down. We leave the game. About 2 minutes to go. I said, I've seen enough. I get up. We're walking down there. And Nick just starts yelling. They didn't have a fucking head coach or a fucking offensive coordinator. Why do we need one?
Family friendly. No swearing included.
What? Yeah, no, you did. You did swear.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Quite a bit. Why do we have an offensive coordinator and head coach? They didn't need one. I mean, I kid you not, I just laughed. I just laughed and laughed and laughed. And I was like, this is embarrassing. And Nick just, from the time we left the stadium to the time we got to the car was probably about a half hour. And he yelled impressively the entire time. Why do I spend money? Why do I spend money for you to put me in a bad mood? And then I think he may or may not have quoted the great Mike Polk Jr. when he said, factory of sadness yet again, to which I said, open for business.
I was just in my feelings.
We got in the car and I said, man, for once, I'm a little worried about Baker Mayfield. That's what I said that everybody got mad. I said, a little worried. I am shooketh. Shooketh, I said. And everybody lost their mind. And Nick said, if we've lost Jacob, we've lost everything.
Oh, dude. And then I made the mistake of liking that thing. And then people came for me for your tweet. Oh, my God.
Yeah, they did. And the thing about it was, like, I go back to the tweet now and I look at it and I had 57 comments on it. And I will say that 50 of them twisted my words and misinterpreted it. No, I'm sorry. Between the two tweets, let's see. I had over 100 comments between the two tweets because I actually issued a tweet the next day to clarify what I said. I said, I am not putting this on all on Baker. I'm not saying trade him, but he wasn't good against a good team. Again, stop acting like criticism is baseless hate. He can be so much better. Saying that doesn't mean I hate him. I like Baker a lot. And then Kyle admitted to us that while he was in that game, he snuck into some VIP area and smashed a bunch of food. And then he got himself lost on the parking deck for like 45 minutes.
And Kyle's not hard. Kyle's got a big burly beard. He's wearing a Joel Bitonio jersey. Kyle's a hard guy. So how he snuck in there, I don't know.
He just tweeted at me, fuck those stairs.
Ed's over here saying he can get you into the Josh Allen fan club. And, here I am feeling optimistic about Thursday. And Ed
is our favorite. He's one of my best friends that I've gotten out of this amazing, crazy.
I love Ed. And I'm just
Ross, Ross says strange meat for Jacob anytime, anywhere. Yes, Mitch. Mitch asked about a Bitonio jersey. Yeah, he has a Bitonio jersey. He said he got it off Fanatics because I said you can't find them anywhere else, and he said, yeah, he got it off Fanatics. So check Fanatics, Mitch, if you want.
You know what, Ed? I'm so upset now. I have to root against Josh Allen every time he plays, even though I think he's super fun to watch. When he lost to the stupid Titans and tripped on his own stupid feet, I was like, ha, take that, Ed in Columbus. Take that, right? He tripped, fourth down. No win for you. Titans victory. Tighten up.
This show is quickly divulging into a shit show.
Why did you do this to me, Ed? Why?
Our friend Emily over on Facebook wants to let you know, Nick, that I hold grudges, so I will not let you live it down ever. All right, guys. I feel so much better having
Yeah,
talked to you
yeah, this
guys.
was fun.
Listen, I don't care how. I don't care what it looks like. Just win, baby.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
That's
Oh God, if we have to go 10 days, if we have
that's
to go
what I
10
gotta say.
days, I can't do it. I can't. I
Just
can't do
win,
it.
rest up, and get ready for that showdown on Halloween when we make it 3 straight, baby. That's all I got.
Browns.
That's all I've got. Nick, final words.
I want to talk shit about the Steelers so bad. And if you lose on Thursday, that's impossible. Can't talk shit at 3-4. How am I gonna? What leg am I gonna stand on then? I can't talk on. It's nothing. Nothing. Yeah, dude, Ed, this was super fun. I please win. Please, God, win. Because
Thank
that's,
you for spending your time with us
yeah.
after a
This,
depressing Sunday.
I feel a lot better. You know what? Like I said, I think, you know what? Everything about the Browns that is broken right now or not going well, we know can be better. We know Baker can be better. We know Kevin Stefanski can be better. We know for a fact all these defensive players are good, right? So the defense can be better. We certainly know that we can get healthier.
Ronnie Harrison needs to figure it the fuck out. That's what I would say.
There's so much that can improve, right? So it's like it all starts here on Thursday. You have to and beat the stupid Broncos. God, I hate them. I hate them. And not as much as the Raiders.
And not
Not
as much as our parents hate the Broncos.
Yeah, that too. But you got to beat them because you know what? Not was it the last time? No, because then we went to Denver and we beat them on the Jabril Pepper sack of Case Keenum of one Case Keenum. I was there for that game.
17-16.
It was a beautiful day. It was the
I
first.
I
That
was
was the
watching
first.
that game with a bunch of convicts in a max security prison.
Well, that was the first away game that we got to see as a victory, and we had been doing away games for a long time at that point. So, yeah. So Thursday, win. Thank you all for being here. Your time is awesome. I feel better. I hope you feel
Thank you,
better.
Carolyn. We love you. We will see you
Yeah,
next Tuesday.
thank you. You know what? You know what? The loss sucked, but the Browns can be better. We have proof, definitive proof the Browns can be better. So start Thursday. No excuse. There was no excuse last year. You dragged a terrible defense to the divisional round. Go win. No excuses. I'm the stupid. The sky was falling in Baltimore, and they're 5-1. No excuses. Go win. This has been the Greedy Williams episode of the Barking Brown Show. Thank you all. You're all great. Jacob, you're great. Go Browns.